Welcome back, investors. This is our EquiTalks series. Today is April 7, 2020. My name is JC De Guzman, founder and CEO of Equilyst Analytics Incorporated. Yes, we are already on our EquiTalks episode number 128. In this 128th episode, let me talk about my analysis with the recommendation for JG Summit Holdings with a stock code of JGS. By the end of my analysis, this question will be answered, and that question is this. Should you buy more or sell all near 67 pesos and 45 centavos? Let's find out. So without further ado, let me talk about my analysis that is anchored to my online stock market course, which is the Evergreen Strategy in Trading and Investing in the Philippine Stock Market. So today, April 7, 2020, JG Summit or JGS closed at 56.5. It went up by 2.73%. The total turnover value reached 120, almost 121 million pesos, with the foreign traders being the main drivers. Foreign fundies are net sellers today, with the net foreign selling worth 3.6 million pesos only. And year to date, they are net sellers as well, but there's not much that we need to worry about that because relatively speaking, their net foreign participation is relatively small. Okay, now let's take a look at the chart of JGS. JGS's immediate support is at 56.2. Resistance is at 67.45. So it needs more volume that is preferably higher than the 50% of JGS's 10-day volume average for this uptrend to become more sustainable, for this recovery to become more sustainable. Just an FYI, JGS has a high risk level due to its historical volatility score of 95.53%. The trade and volume distribution analysis, or my trade and volume distribution analysis, shows that JGS has a volume weighted average price of 56.04. Luckily, that is still lower than the last price of this 56.5. And the dominant price point of 56.5 is not only the intraday, it's not only closer to the intraday high, but it's the intraday high itself. So volume is also green, and it is higher than the 50% of JGSS's 10-day volume average. So all in all, the momentum power indicator is bullish. And by the way, the 10 MACD, which is a combination of the 10 SMA and MACD, is bullish also. Is there a buy signal confirmation? Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am, there is. Now, if you'd like to know more how do we know if the 10 SMAC is bullish or bearish, or if the momentum power indicator is bullish or bearish, and what's the relevance or significance of these two, I'm not going to give the answers to those questions in this episode. Otherwise, this will become a 7-hour episode. This will become an online seminar. But I already answered those questions in our online stock market course, which you can access when you subscribe to Equilyst Analytics. So again, there is a buy signal confirmation on JGS. So this is the dominant range, 56.5. This will have a role in my recommendations later on. On the other hand, JGS's true market sentiment is neutral. It's neutral, and that will have an impact or effect on my recommendations. So let's talk about my recommendation, shall we? Now, let me talk first with those of you who already have JGS. Now, I am going to assume that your trailing stop is still intact because that's the only logical reasoning why someone will continue to hold a position on a stock. Okay? Okay, now, if you still have JGS, I have two recommendations for you. The first recommendation is for the low risk investor. Okay, low risk investor first. My recommendation is that you hold your position because of that neutral true market sentiment. Now, recommendation number 2 is for the high risk investors. You may top up within the dominant price point that I showed a while back, which is 56.5. Again, if and only if you are a high-risk investor. Why? Because the 10 MACD and the momentum power indicator are bullish anyway, even though the true market sentiment is still neutral and not yet bullish. Did you get those two parts? If you didn't, then just rewind this video or podcast. Okay. Now, uh, my recommendation now for those who don't have JGS yet, same thing. If you are a low risk investor, wait for the true market sentiment to become bullish, or you can buy in tranches. Don't use your buying power in one go. Don't buy in one go. Okay? If your buying power is higher than 20,000 pesos, then you can divide it into two tranches. But if it's somewhere less than 10,000 pesos, no need to divide your buying power into tranches. Otherwise, it's a waste of um, transaction fees and taxes. Okay, so now again, recommendation for those who don't have JGS yet: if you are a low risk investor, wait for the true market sentiment to become bullish before you do a test buy or buy in tranches. If your buying power is if it makes sense to divide your buying power into tranches if it's higher than 20,000 pesos. Now, if you are a high-risk investor, you can already do a test buy within the dominant range that I showed a while back. Okay, just do it in tranches as well. All right, so that's my recommendation, and I hope you found it helpful. Now, let me take this opportunity to introduce to you our stock market subscription service because I talked about it maybe 3 to 4 times a while back. Now, go to equilyst.com/subscribe. Please read everything from top to bottom. I was the one who personally wrote everything in here, and I made sure that there are samples or visuals so that we won't be talking about like, oh, this is not what I was expecting. Can I get a refund? No, there's no refund. That's why I made sure that everything is crystal clear at the onset so that we won't have that kind of a conversation, an email conversation, haggling for a refund or whatever. Okay, so read everything. Do yourself a favor. Be a reader. So I intentionally uh, lengthen my post within reasons, by the way, so that I can only attract those people who love to read. Okay, you're going to hate me if you're not a reader because I'm a highly detailed person. Sometimes even questions that you're not asking are being answered when I answer your initial questions. Okay, you get to love reading. I swear. Okay. So here, what do you get when you subscribe? Number one, you will get an access to our online stock market course or seminar. And number two, you will receive a daily video with 10 trade ideas and recommendations for what? For short-term trading if you'd like to engage into short-term trading. Number three, you will get an access to our investment guide for long-term investors. I personally monitor all 30 blue chip companies. And I will tell you if I see a buy signal confirmation for any of those 30. If there's a buy signal confirmation, I will tell you where it is best to buy. Number four, you will get an access to our private clients forum. This is where you can ask questions. This is where you can post ad hoc requests for our stock analysis for any Philippine stock. Okay? Number five, this is the Learn to Earn affiliate program. Let me tell you quickly how it works. First, you need to submit your analysis in our private clients forum. And then I'm going to check it. And if I'm impressed, I'm going to ask you, would you like this to be published on our websites? And if your answer is a yes, 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 then I'm going to publish it. I'm going to have my team publish it with your picture. Of course, you will be the author, not me, not any of my staff. With your picture, with your byline, and with your affiliate link. Okay, but first things first, I must be impressed not because of whatever reason, but purely because your analysis is in accordance to our evergreen strategy in trading and investing in the Philippine stock market, the online stock market course. Okay, it has to be based on that, not on any Pontius Pilate's methodology. Okay. Now, number six, you will get a free online stockbrokers account and access to FirstMetroSec PRO. FirstMetroSec PRO is the most advanced online stock trading platform in the Philippines today by First Metro Securities Brokerage Corporation. Despite this partnership, Equilyst Analytics remains 199% independent in all of its ways. I guarantee you that. Now, at the bottom, you will also see the 600 plus testimonials or reviews from our customers. You can make this stuff up. And then if you'll scroll a little bit to the bottom, you will see the 3 steps on how to subscribe, including the payment options. In this time of the COVID-19 pandemic, you can pay through online banking or mobile banking. You can also pay online with your credit card through PayPal. So again, equilyst.com/subscribe. And lastly, last but not the least, let me introduce to you our online stock market library. This is for free. Go to equilyst.com/library. In this library, you will be able to read our news articles. We are the ones writing our own. We don't copy and paste from other websites' news posts. FYI. Okay, you will be able to read our analysis. You can listen to our podcasts. You can watch our videos. You can use our calculators. You can use our dictionary, our word bank. For example, if you'd like to know what PSEI means, you can type in PSEI and there you go. It will show you the definition. If it's not yet included in our database, you can submit it to us by clicking this click here option on top and submit it to us. Okay, and then we're going to add it. And there's more that you will learn from this EquiTalks, from this online stock market library. Now imagine this. If we can afford to give you this much information for free, what more do you get when you become a paying customer? Okay, let that sink in for about 9 days. All right. Okay, now if you're going to scroll a little bit to the bottom, you will see a sign up form. Okay, for what? A newsletter. So sign up to this free newsletter. Make sure that you confirm your registration so that you will receive an email alert when we publish a new episode. And also, if you're listening to this podcast on SoundCloud or if you're watching this video on YouTube, go to the description box down below and follow us on our social media accounts. We are on Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, Instagram, Pinterest, Tumblr, Vimeo, SoundCloud, and more. Okay, I don't memorize them all. Okay, so now why should you do that? So that aside from receiving an email alert from our newsletter, you will also be receiving a notification from your favorite social media account when we publish a new EquiTalks episode. As simple as that. Okay, so I hope you've learned something cool and useful from this EquiTalks episode number 128 for JG Summit Holdings or JGS. So that's it. Again, my name is JC De Guzman, founder and CEO of Equilyst Analytics Incorporated. Invest independently, trade tactically.